You've been lied to, not by a stranger, not by some faceless corporation, but by your own instincts. Every time someone cuts you off, mocks your effort, or throws shade your way, you feel it. That electric surge in your chest, the urge to clap back, to shut them down, to make them see who you really are. And that is exactly what they want, because disrespect isn't about you. It's a trap, a test disguised as an insult. And the moment you react, you hand them your power on a silver platter. Here's the brutal truth most people never learn. The loudest response is the weakest one. Real strength doesn't roar. It watches. It chooses. It walks away with its dignity intact while the other person drowns in their own chaos. Today, you're about to uncover 4 silent mistakes that secretly sabotage your peace, your reputation, and your inner power. Every single time you're disrespected. And no, staying calm isn't enough. Stoicism isn't passive. It's precision warfare for the soul. If you've ever regretted how you handled a confrontation, if you've replayed an argument in your head for days, or if you're tired of feeling emotionally hijacked by people who don't deserve your energy, this is your turning point. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you won't just know how to handle disrespect. You'll master it. And hey, if you're ready to stop reacting and start commanding respect without saying a word, hit subscribe. Because what comes next could change how you show up in every room for the rest of your life. Let's begin 1. Don't argue for validation. Let's be brutally honest for a second. When someone disrespects you, what hurts the most isn't their words. It's the fear that they might be right. That's why your instinct kicks in like a reflex. You scramble to defend yourself. You list your accomplishments. You quote your track record. You replay past wins like courtroom evidence. And deep down, you're not trying to correct them. You're trying to convince them that you're worthy of respect. But here's the trap. You've just handed your self-worth over to someone who clearly doesn't value it. The Stoics saw this illusion centuries ago. Epictetus put it with surgical precision. If you are ever tempted to look for outside approval, realize that you have compromised your integrity. If you need a witness, be your own. Think about that. The moment you start arguing to prove your value to someone who's already dismissed you, you're no longer acting from strength. You're begging for scraps from a table you built yourself. Marcus Aurelius took it even further. He warned us to constantly observe who those are whose approval you wish to have and what ruling principles they possess. Why? Because once you truly see the character, or lack thereof, of the person disrespecting you, their opinion becomes irrelevant. Would you ask a broken compass for directions? Would you let a blind man judge your painting? Then why let someone consumed by pettiness, jealousy, or ignorance define your worth? And yet, we do it all the time. We argue with co-workers who undermine us in meetings. We text back defensive paragraphs to exes who ghosted us months ago. We waste hours crafting social media clapbacks to strangers who don't know our name, all in the name of setting the record straight. But the record was never theirs to write. True validation isn't something you get. It's something you embody. A Stoic doesn't walk into a room needing to be seen. They walk in knowing exactly who they are, and that knowledge is unshakable, regardless of who's watching or what they say. Their peace isn't negotiated. It's non-negotiable. So the next time someone tries to shrink you, ask yourself, am I responding to clarify or to be validated? If it's the latter, walk away. Not because you're weak, but because you refuse to let your inner compass spin wildly every time someone blows hot air in your direction. Your dignity isn't up for debate. And the people who truly matter, they don't need a performance. They see your character in your silence, your consistency, your calm. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever caught yourself arguing just to feel seen? Drop a comment below. This is a battle most of us fight in secret, and your honesty might give someone else the courage to stop seeking permission to exist. And if this resonates, Remember, the best revenge isn't a comeback. It's becoming so grounded in your truth that disrespect bounces off you like rain off stone. 2. Don't mirror their behavior. You know that old saying, fight fire with fire. It sounds heroic, dramatic, like something from an action movie where the hero finally snaps and gives the villain exactly what they deserve. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When you mirror disrespect, you don't defeat it. You join it. The moment you match their tone, their sarcasm, their aggression, you've already lost something far more valuable than the argument: your integrity. Stoicism isn't about winning battles. It's about refusing to fight dirty ones. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, a position that gave him absolute power over life and death. Yet in his private journal, Meditations, he wrote, "When another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what sort of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be racked with anxiety, that they should hold any particular opinion about you." Notice what he didn't say. He didn't say, clap back harder. He didn't say, expose them publicly. He said, see them clearly, and then let go. Because when you stoop to someone's level, you don't elevate the conversation, you lower yourself into their chaos. And chaos doesn't care how righteous you feel. It only cares if you're willing to play by its rules. Think about it. When a co-worker gossips about you behind your back and you respond by spreading rumors of your own, who wins? The office culture loses. Your reputation blurs. And you become part of the toxicity you claim to hate. When a stranger cuts you off in traffic and you honk, flip them off, or tailgate them in retaliation, you haven't taught them a lesson. You've just turned your car into a pressure cooker of rage, and now you're the one trembling at the wheel. When a family member makes a passive-aggressive comment at dinner and you fire back with equal venom, you don't restore peace. You ignite a cycle that could poison relationships for years. The Stoics understood this deeply. They knew that character isn't tested when people treat you well. It's revealed when they don't. Epictetus, born a slave and later exiled by the Roman Empire, never retaliated with bitterness. Instead, he taught, any person capable of angering you becomes your master. That's not poetic exaggeration. That's psychological warfare decoded 2,000 years early. Every time you react in kind, you surrender control. You let their behavior dictate your state of mind. But real mastery looks different. Real mastery is the quiet pause before the reply. It's the deep breath that says, I won't let your storm shake my foundation. It's walking away, not because you're afraid, but because you refuse to trade your peace for a fleeting sense of justice. And here's the paradox. Most people miss, the more disciplined your response, the more powerful you appear. People notice, not the loud ones, the calm ones, the ones who don't flinch, don't crumble, don't descend into pettiness. Those are the people others instinctively trust, follow, and respect, even if they'd never admit it. So ask yourself, when was the last time I mirrored someone's negativity and actually felt better afterward? Chances are you felt drained, regretful, smaller. That's your soul telling you, you are made for higher ground. Now I challenge you. Next time someone disrespects you, respond with unexpected grace. Not weakness, grace. Say less. Do less. Be more. Watch how their energy collapses without your reaction to feed it. And if you've ever broken this rule, we all have, drop a 100 in the comments. No shame here, only growth. Because awareness is the first step to unlearning the habits that keep us small. 3. Don't let ego speak for you. Here's a hard truth most people avoid. Your ego doesn't protect you, it exposes you. When someone disrespects you, that sharp sting in your chest, That's not your dignity being wounded. It's your ego screaming for revenge. And if you let it take the wheel, you won't respond. You'll retaliate. You'll say things you can't take back. You'll make decisions that feel satisfying in the moment, but cost you everything in the long run. The Stoics didn't fear disrespect. They feared losing themselves to it. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, faced betrayal from friends, generals, and even his own family. Yet he never lashed out in pride. Instead, he wrote in Meditations, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy, not to destroy them, not to humiliate them, but to refuse to become the very thing you despise." That's the core of Stoic discipline. Wisdom seeks distance, pride seeks destruction. Your ego wants a showdown. It wants to win at all costs, even if winning means burning bridges, damaging your reputation, or sacrificing your peace. But your higher self, it knows something deeper. Some battles aren't worth fighting because they're not about truth. They're about noise. Think about the last time someone insulted you publicly. Maybe in a group chat. Maybe during a meeting. Maybe on social media. What did your ego whisper? You can't let that slide. They'll think you're weak. Make them regret it. And if you listened, you probably fired off a reply that felt powerful in the moment. But later, in the quiet, you wondered, was that really me? That's the danger. Ego doesn't speak with your voice. It speaks with fear dressed as confidence. It confuses reaction with strength. But real strength isn't reactive. It's reflective. It asks, does this serve my values or just my pride? Epictetus, who lived through slavery and exile, put it plainly, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And the reaction your ego demands, it's almost always the wrong one, because ego operates in extremes. If you're ignored, it tells you to demand attention. If you're mocked, it tells you to humiliate back. If you're excluded, it tells you to expose their flaws. But wisdom operates in stillness. It says, let them reveal themselves. Your silence is your shield. And here's something radical. The more secure you are, the less you need to defend yourself. A lion doesn't turn around when a dog barks. Not because it's afraid, but because it knows its place in the hierarchy of things. Your worth isn't diminished by someone else's ignorance. And the moment you start performing for their approval or punishment, you've already stepped down from your throne. So next time disrespect comes your way, pause and ask, is this my voice or my ego's? If it's ego, breathe. Step back. Let it pass through you like wind through trees. Don't feed it. Don't justify it. Just observe it and choose differently. Because the greatest victory isn't making someone regret crossing you. It's walking away so whole, so centered, so unshaken that they're left wondering why your calm unsettled them more than any shout ever could. Now, I want you to reflect. When has your ego led you into a fight you later regretted? Share your story below, because naming it is how we disarm it. And if this hit home, remember, true power isn't loud. It's the quiet certainty that you don't need to prove anything to anyone. 4. Don't waste energy trying to prove your worth. Let's cut through the noise with one undeniable truth. You were never meant to convince people of your value. When someone disrespects you, your instinct might scream, they need to see who I really am. So you over-explain, you overperform, you drop hints about your success, your intelligence, your resilience, hoping they'll suddenly get it and regret ever doubting you. But here's what that really is. A silent plea for permission to exist as you are. And that's exhausting. Not just emotionally, but spiritually. Because every ounce of energy you spend trying to prove yourself to someone who's already dismissed you is energy stolen from your own growth, peace, and purpose. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Marcus Aurelius didn't waste a single line in Meditations trying to justify his worth to critics or rivals. Why? Because he knew something most of us forget. Your value doesn't increase when others recognize it, and it doesn't decrease when they ignore it. It simply is. Epictetus, who was born into slavery and walked with a limp his entire life, never begged the world to see him as worthy. Instead, he taught, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, 'He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone.'" That's not humility. That's mastery. He wasn't shaken by slander because he didn't tie his identity to public opinion. He knew his flaws, he owned them, and he refused to let someone else's limited view dictate his inner state. Now think about your own life. Have you ever stayed late at work just to prove you're committed while your health crumbles? Have you ever posted achievements online hoping a certain person would finally respect you? Have you ever replayed conversations in your head, rewriting your responses so you'd sound smarter? All of it. Energy spent trying to earn a badge that was never yours to win. Real worth isn't proven. It's lived. A tree doesn't argue with the wind about whether it's strong enough. It stands, roots deep, branches wide, letting storms pass without losing its essence. That's the Stoic ideal. Unshakable presence, not persuasive performance. And silence. Silence isn't surrender, it's sovereignty. When you stop explaining, defending, and proving, you reclaim your power. You signal to the world and to yourself that your dignity doesn't require an audience. You become like water, calm on the surface, deep beneath, impossible to pollute with petty noise. Marcus Aurelius put it best. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Not talk about it, not perform it. Be it. So the next time someone tries to shrink you, don't reach for evidence of your greatness. Just be great, quietly, consistently, without fanfare. Let your actions speak so loudly over time that their disrespect becomes irrelevant background noise. Because the ultimate response to being underestimated, living so well that their opinion fades into obscurity, not because you defeated them, but because you outgrew the need for their approval entirely. Now, I want you to ask yourself, where in your life are you still trying to prove your worth to people who don't matter? Comment below with one area you're ready to release. This isn't just self-help, it's self-liberation. And your honesty could inspire someone else to stop performing and start being. Disrespect only wins when you let it shake your center. The Stoics knew true strength isn't in your comeback. It's in your composure. Don't argue for validation. Don't mirror their chaos. Don't let ego hijack your peace. And never waste energy proving your worth to those who refuse to see it. Your silence, your restraint, your unwavering calm, that's your power. Not loud, but unshakable. If this resonated, hit subscribe and join thousands building quiet strength in a noisy world. Drop a comment below. Which of these 4 mistakes have you caught yourself making? Let's grow, not react, together.